Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Wednesday. How's everyone doing today? Guys, hey, starting off in the chat. Bitcoin currently trading at $93,277.09. Happy Wednesday. I'm super stoked. It's a little bit snowy out. Interesting weather we've been having. What a great way to start off the stream. Go straight into the weather. Let's refresh our liquidation heat map. How you guys been? I feel like it's been a long time since we've talked. I don't know if I had a long work day or something. Something's going on in the universe. What's going on, Drummer, Gourmet Ranch, Brooklyn, Philly? Guys, don't forget to smash the like button. Smash the like button. Smash the like button. And smash the like button. Giovanni said, JJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJ. Philly said, is this an effing dream? Drummer said, don't forget to like, subscribe, and send feed pics. That last part you can do via Discord or X, your choice. Both links are in the description down below. Gourmet Brands Brooklyn said, hopefully this stays green for the full moon tomorrow. I believe leading into the full moon is supposed to be dumpy, so after tomorrow, we should technically be good. Giovanni, yep. And let's see where we're at. We've got 94,267. We've got 94,917. We've got, Giovanni said this is epic. It is epic indeed, I agree. 92,103. What's up, fam? I missed you all. We missed you too, Giovanni. I'm going to go right here, 91,526. And then the bottom of the bottom. I guess I'll go, let me go right here, 90,949. Finally at my new job full-time. Let's go. That's the way to do it. Is it your dream job? As long as you like what you're doing, you will never work a day in your life. I like that quote. All right. Bitcoin's chilling dead center of our range based on the liquidation heat map. Volume looks good. RSI looks great. Momentum wave looks great. Nothing really new to report since yesterday. Uptrend continues. Dominance 59.15. Would you look at that? That, my friends, that looks like a rejection, doesn't it? That looks like a rejection. Would you look at that? I'm going to do a little arrow as well. Would you look at that? That, my friends, it's a rejection. Philly said, JJ, leaving out the part, this could be a bear market. Leaving out that this is a rally. What do you predict rate cut week will be? Like, as in terms of green or red? Ooh, this is a good question. I'm going to say green. I think rate cut week is going to close green. I like that. Excuse me while I Cashapp my fiance. Bam. And taking forever. It's done. Cool. Sweet. Okay. So yeah, exciting times. Hopefully we don't get a bounce off of 59. That would be kind of sad, but also it would be kind of funny. So hopefully that doesn't happen because I don't want to laugh at our own misery. I'm gonna put rate cut week. I'm gonna guess green. Let's see. How do I put that on here? I think rate cut week will close green. I'll put that right there for now. We'll figure out a better spot for it later. ETH is up 0.68 since the daily close. We are currently sitting at 32.08 and 40 cents. We have broken above Sayer Smith's call for the end of June, which I believe was incorrect, but we left it on the chart anyways. He was looking at 31.75. We're at 32.06. I'd like to stay above 32, but we are overbought on the 4-hour time frame, so be careful. We could see a little retrace here because of that. But if this is a proper rally, the market might not give a crap about overbought, oversold on the 4-hour. Green dot is still in play from Monday. Momentum wave looks good, not quite overbought, but it is getting there. Money flow is positive, which is awesome. Bitcoin money flow is also positive. That's exactly what we want to see. And yeah, like I said, overbought on a 4-hour time frame for the RSI, so we could see a little breather. It doesn't have to go down. It could go sideways, but that is a possibility for sure. Sol is currently up 0.53% on the day, currently trading at 145.44. Let's see, 145.44. I like that we're above our blue trend line. That is a legacy trend line, upper trend line for a larger like wedge pattern that we watched play out, resulted in new all-time highs. And the purple line is a neckline from an inverse head and shoulder that also is what sent us above the upper trend line. They gave us all-time highs. So I like that we're getting kind of a little double bottom W situation and breaking above that based off of our two trend lines that are pretty relevant. Billy said, okay, we need to make a new rule. No texting on stream. Rules apply for all of us. Gourmet Brands Brooklyn said, hi, Giovanni. Congrats on the job. Yeah, congrats, Giovanni. Billy said, JJ, I mean your prediction for start of rate cut week. Start equals Monday. New York open going into Wednesday. Oh, I haven't. See, that I cannot predict because usually it's pretty volatile going into the rate cut day. So I have no idea. Monday could start strong, and then Wednesday could be garbage, and then we get the rate cut on Wednesday, and the market recovers brilliantly because the volatility is usually what rate cuts cause. What's nice about Solana, again, I think I pointed this out yesterday, at the Pico bottom of our little dumperoonie here, we got a beautiful green dot, which resulted in, let's see, if you would have bought that, I think I pointed this out yesterday too, you'd currently be at 14%, which is pretty sick. Tremor said, congrats. Giovanni said, thanks. He's a cowboy? That's actually awesome. Giovanni's a cowboy. He's a professional cowboy now. Wait a minute. We have to fill this lore gap now. Because the lore was always that Giovanni Fontes worked for Grey Goose Vodka. He was a representative for Grey Goose Vodka. So, since he got a new job, who does he work for now? Who does number 2 work for? Giovanni, I think now got a job. I guess, see, Giovanni Fontes is not like a Jack Daniels guy. Giovanni Fontes, maybe like a Patron? Don Julio? I don't know. We'll think of something. Billy said, what is the new job? You a drywaller? Drywallers make so much money. It's actually ridiculous. All right, anyways. Total 3 is up 0.26% on the day since the daily close. We are currently sitting at 899.07. Getting a little spicy here. I'm kind of enjoying it. I would love to see this break above 900 and then eventually a trillion. That would be the most exciting scenario. But we're at 899.04 billion right now. Looking good. I like that we're holding above 883. You can see what's interesting is this upper trend line was very relevant for the resistance, and then this lower support line, which this is a legacy support line. This goes back pretty far. We got resistance, support, resistance, which broke, kind of retested, and then we broke above 883, retested, and then continued to the upside. So the next point of confluence should be 910. Obviously anything can happen, but right now the chart is weirdly following every single line that I have on it. The green dot from Monday is still in play. Pickle said, hey, what's going on, Pickle Rick? Billy said, Pickle Doodle. We got, like I said, break above 883, heading towards 910. 900 obviously is psychological. That's all. You always got to watch the psychological numbers, so getting above 900 is going to be a big deal. We will see if we can get above that, stay above that. I guess my bounce target was kind of off. My bounce target was 925. What's nice is my slightly bullish guess of 800 billion got pretty dang close when we decided we might be in a proper bear market and we closed below the 50 week. That's pretty exciting. I believe we're back above the 20 week. We are not yet overbought on the 4-hour time frame, and the momentum wave, momentum wave on Market Cipher is chill as well. We do have negative money flow still though. 8 is up 0.00 since the daily close. We're currently sitting at 44.99. Is it going to retest our breakout back here? We have the potential. Let's see. We got bearish, bullish, support, continuation. I don't know. Do we have a potential to curl over? I don't feel like we do, but obviously anything can happen. I'm not going to say it's not going to happen, but maybe we do one of these. Something like that. A little bit of a linger for the next couple of days. I think once we get to Friday, Saturday, it's going to get pretty boring until Tuesday, Wednesday. That's my guess. That's a little more descriptive for you, Philly. For the rate cut. It's a pretty high chance of a rate cut. Snack is down 0.48, chilling at 15,268. Waiting for this thing to pop to the upside. And nothing's set in stone, but if you'll observe back here, obviously it's a lower low. Not the end of the world. Talked about that 1,000 times. Every time there's a lower low, that does not mean that the price is automatically going to go down. It could actually put in a higher low or a higher high from here. You never know. But aside from that, our bottoms here look very similar. So I'm kind of waiting for this part to happen, because that's the exciting part. And I've been dollar cost averaging, so if that happens, I'm gonna make a lot of money really, really fast. And that is what crypto is all about. XRP is up 0.14% on the day, currently trading at 220. We are still dancing around the idea of breaking above 222. 222 has been a pretty decent sized overhead resistance since we broke below it back here. We got resistance, 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 resistance. So getting above that is going to be a big deal. We get above that, we'll probably have enough strength to get above the upper trend line from this descending channel. So obviously we'll see what happens. H bar 14,524. Not really too much going on here. It's been very sideways. We got the little baby dump and the recovery, and we are back at this level. We kind of seem to have a pretty strong resistance at 15. I'm going to put this on here. It's definitely a psychological scenario. So let's get above that, and then we can talk about 16 and see if we can go higher from there. It is interesting how sideways this thing gets. Down, sideways, down, sideways, down, sideways. It's very, very flatlining. This is the most volatility that we've ever seen, at least since September. So it's been 2-3 months of kind of suppressed price action almost, which is also interesting because HBAR is one of the ETF approvals. I think that that's what this is from. So the ETF buyers are probably net negative for the most part. They'll be wanting to make their money back soon. Or maybe they sold already. Who knows? SWI is up 0.62 since the daily close. SWI I really like. I like SWI's chart right now. We got our fake out to the downside. We got our rejection, support, break, and it's now continuing to the upside, which is awesome. That's exactly what we want to see. We're currently sitting at 169.88. Can we get back above 180? Dancing around 170 right now, 169.93-ish. That's kind of our resistance. We do have a confirmed red dot on Market Cipher, which is interesting. That came in right here. Can we invalidate that by going higher? Hopefully. Obviously, only time will tell. Now, before that, we had a confirmed green dot at the Pico bottom right here, just like Solana. So, it's interesting to watch these flash and play out. We are not overbought. We were when we peaked right here. So we've since retraced and kind of cooled off a little bit. So the possibility of continuing higher is definitely there. The red dot is interesting though. We'll keep an eye on that, see where we end up. Getting above and staying above 170 is going to be a big deal. Ondo's up 0.49, very sideways. We got our little chop, dump, chop, recovery, chop. I don't know. You know, it just seems like it's lacking so much momentum and volatility that it's not really even worth looking at, which kind of makes me sad because this is one of my more desirable projects in the past. Now, maybe not, but I don't know. I haven't looked at the fundamentals in a long time. Arrow is up 2.06% on the day, currently trading at 69.20. Arrow actually looks really good. Let's get above 70. This thing moves pretty dramatically when it does move. We have yet to cross into the oversold territory on the momentum wave, so the green dot from Monday is still in play. And our bullish cross over the moving average and the RSI also still in play. That happened on Tuesday. So we are also not overbought on the 4-hour RSI there. Volume could be a little bit better, but price action, not too bad. Not too bad. We kind of broke down here in November and have stayed at this price with relative ease since then. So this is kind of our little safe zone right here, 69.70. And that's quite poetic if you ask me. Pinlink is up 2.44%. Ooh, what did I say? I said if it stays above 12.05, it's probably going to casually linger outside of our upper trend line, and then we want to see it try and make its way back above 23. Billy said every coin has been your project. What? Why? Because I said I like Ondo. Arrow, Pinlink, Render. Render also very underwhelming. Render more so actually, because as sideways as it's been, it's also been down. This is like the most downward sideways crap I've ever seen. Hopefully it can recover. Obviously 260 should have been great support, and it failed to hold, and then it turned into resistance, and we got above, or we got back below our $2 level. That kind of acted as a bounce for our attempt to get back above 260. So it's kind of a big level that we're watching. We're at 176 right now. Get above $2 is going to be the first step towards recovery. So let's get that first step first, and then we can start talking about further upwards momentum. Green dot still in play for Monday, same as everything else. Bullish crossover with moving average and the RSI from Tuesday still in play as well. We got Stellar. Stellar looks good above 25. It's at 25.70 right now. Can we make our way towards 27.62? Not a big fan of the wicks right here. It's a little indecisive, but I think everyone's a little standoffish from the market activity recently, so I don't really blame them. Green dot still in play. Bullish cross over the moving average still in play. We have a pending bearish cross maybe. Obviously we'll see how it plays out, but for now we look okay above 25. Polkadot, I got an alert for Polkadot today, I think. Currently sitting at 236. Can we get back above 255? We are almost overbought. Green dot on the momentum wave for Monday still in play. It's weird seeing a signal flash Monday and it be Wednesday and have no signal since then. It feels odd. It feels like there's a big gap there, but we have been climbing ever since. So Fartcoin is up 3.92% on the day. Fartcoin oddly been outperforming every other coin. We got, let's see, resistance, break, a little support right here, 18. Got above, support, resistance, break, support, resistance, support, break, resistance, support. Right here at like 26, it looks like. Resistance, break, resistance, support, resistance, support, resistance. It actually trades really nicely. Maybe we should start trading Fartcoin, because it does seem to really like our lines. If we get above 36.26 and hold above it, then we got a good chance of hitting 40. If we reject 36.26, we got a good chance of 29.13. But this little interim midpoint situation right here at 32 is very prominent as well, just based on previous price action. Support turned resistance, support, resistance, support. So that, I think that's safe enough. Actually, I'm going to make it a permanent level, and I'm going to make a solid line. So we can start considering that if we do trade Fartcoin at all. I think my favorite thing right now is the large quantity of people who, for some reason, hate Fartcoin, like with a burning passion, because it's Fartcoin. You know, why are you putting energy towards hating a coin named Fartcoin? The RSI looks interesting. We got room to continue to the upside. Green dot on the momentum wave, pointing to the upside. Multiple red dots back here. I'm not sure how much I can trust these indicators, but I like where the price action is going. CAS is up 0.2 on the day, currently sitting at 56.94. Are we going to get above 60 next? That's going to be important. Nice psychological level. We got kind of a little bit of a triangle flag thing going on here. We get a bullish break. There's potential there for some upside. Cas has been surprising some people lately. Very few people, but still. We got our break out of our falling channel. Break. Support at our 51.78 level, point of confluence. And continuation of the upside. So it looks good. Let's see. Okay. Billy said ketamine? What is ketamine? Oh, because Gourmet Brand said Kettle One. What is Kettle One? Avalanche is chilling. Avalanche looks really good, actually. Currently sitting at 1480. Can we get above 15 next? That's been resistance since November 18th. So we broke below resistance, resistance, support. Let's get above it next. There's clear resistance right there. We got a little double bottom action going on though, so, and it's even potential Adam Eve, or Eve Adam, I think at this point. Eve and Adam. So let's see if we get above 15 and start making some gains on Avalanche. We are almost overbought, not quite, so keep an eye on that. Green dot for Monday still in play on the momentum wave as well. Money flow is negative, but it is doing that little flip-floppy thing, so it's close. Chainlink is up 1.64% since the daily close, currently sitting at 1488, just above 1441. We broke above that. We had a little bit of indecisiveness out of 3 candles right here, and then we finally decided to break. Next stop, 1524. Let's see if that becomes a problem or not. We are overbought on the 4-hour time frame. Money flow is positive, though, and our momentum wave still has a little bit of room before it becomes overbought. So 1488. Can we at least get above 15 or try 15? We'll see what happens, but so far looks pretty good. Doge looks oddly similar to Chainlink, doesn't it? Nope, I made that up. Maybe it looks oddly similar to Avalanche. So we're above 1451. We're at 15,223. Volume could be a little bit better. Green dot still in play. Our side chilling. I would like to see more volume. That would make me happy. Near is up 0.92%. We got above our horizontal support resistance 180 area, midpoint, in between 169 and 194. So let's see if 194 can happen next. It's been a pretty strong resistance this entire time, so getting above that is going to be a big deal. Guys, don't forget to smash the like button. I appreciate you guys for being here. Happy Wednesday. Pengu had a pretty crazy day yesterday. Man, 20%, that's so sick. So we're sitting at 183. Let's see, resistance, can we continue? I want to see this thing get back up to 14, 15, because that was our last point of confluence before we really started to take a pooper. Now, I will say, we had a strong launch, a pretty big valley, rejection, and then you could argue that that's a cup and handle. That resulted in some pretty decent gains. A similar story could be playing out here. I'm just saying. And that actually lines up perfectly with January being a possible super duper bullish breakout month. Gourmet Brands Broken said Kettle One is a vodka brand, a competitor of Grey Goose. Joe is gonna give them all of the Grey Goose secrets. Dang, Kettle One. You know what? Now that you say it, I think I can see the bottle. You know what else I could see? Oh shoot. What's it called? Is it with an H? Hendrix Gin, I think. Yeah, I think he could work for Hendrix Gin for sure. I remember the commercials for this. This like the most obscure commercial, but it got your attention. It was brilliant marketing. Maybe Maker's Mark. Ooh, now we're getting somewhere. Okay. Silver's up 0.27% on the day. It is following the fractal perfectly. And this fractal, like, I'm not going to claim anything special from this. It's just, I saw this first initial spike, and I know my target of 50, 58 from our green line right here, from our flag breakout. And I was like, my old target of 52 kind of did a little head and shoulder thing. And then we had an inverse head and shoulder, and then we built this flag. So I wonder if we're going to do the same thing up here. And I copied that, and lo and behold, it's playing out perfectly so far, and that would lead us to beautifully bounce off of 52 to then establish the next all-time high around January 26th of $63. Not financial advice. The concept is there. It's a pretty cool idea. I'm actually going to mark it on here. I'm going to go with 62 just to be safe. 62, and I'm going to put JJ's, whoops, Jesus. JJ's January 20th plus or minus target. So we will see. My brands are broken. Said I hear Diddy's brand vodkas. I hear Ciroc. Is that Diddy? That's funny. Why did I think it was, what's his name? That yeah, that is Diddy. Okay, my bad. Why did Diddy leave Ciroc? He left. He accused them of racism? Stop it. That is funny. I didn't realize that a whole, like, alcoholic beverage manufacturer could be racist. Dang. That's funny. Okay. So yeah, that's my silver story. We'll see if that happens. I am liking the fractal so far though. It is like weirdly accurate. Like this right here playing out perfectly. Look at this when I make this less transparent. Come on. Like even that little spike right there. That's crazy. We'll see how well it plays out in the end, but I mean, even if it goes right here and then keeps going up, that's still pretty cool. I don't know, maybe I'm making a big deal out of it, and it's actually not a big deal. Alright, let's see. We've got DXY. Maybe looking like a potential reversal. I do like that it's dumping, though. Dumpy DXY is bullish for everyone, except for the dollar. Now, if we go to the daily, we can see, yeah, we had a clear supporting trend here. Bounce, not a bounce, bounce, break, resistance, resistance. Let's go double top, and then continuation to the downside. That would be ideal. What we don't want is for that to have been this. Uptrend, break, double bottom, continuation. We don't want that to play out, because that sucks. Now, I guess if that is, then we do still have this. But the uptrend off of that would probably smush everything pretty bad, and we don't like smush stuff. MicroStrategy, aka Big B Coffee, is up 3.89% on the day. Good for them. I'm assuming... maybe this is bullying, but it seems to me like maybe Michael Saylor sold some of his own personal Bitcoin to buy some of the MicroStrategy stock so that he doesn't look bad. That's what I think, because why would anyone buy MicroStrategy stock? Why wouldn't you just buy Bitcoin? You know what I mean? It's just kind of goofy. Let's see if we can get back above 200. That's going to be a big level for me. Maybe I'll stop talking crap if we do that. NASDAQ, chilling, looking good. We got a potential downtrend coming up December 11, 12, and then looking good heading into Christmas. And then mid-January, we could see a little bit of volatility. That's strictly based on the fractal. It doesn't have to follow the fractal to a T. It can just shoot straight through that. It could do this, it could do this, it could do that. could literally move backwards for some reason. You can do whatever. The fractal is just an idea. S&P currently following the fractal very nicely. Now this will follow the fractal because it is the Ass Fractal 3.0. Rest in peace 2.0 and 1.0. You will forever be remembered as legends in your own regards. But let's see if we get a little curl over. That is heading very much into Christmas. And then during and after Christmas, we get a nice little bounce. We'll see if any news occurs, though, that changes that scenario. And that's it. Bitcoin itself is currently sitting down 0.18% on the day. Let's get back in on the 4-hour time frame. We're looking totally fine. 93, 258 and 54 cents. Philly said, oh, Gourmet Brands of Brooklyn said, I just don't like that fractal sell off for silver. Yeah. Philly said, I love when JJ makes a raspy, soft, screaming voice and says, yeah, oh yeah. What? Raspy, soft, screaming voice. When did I do that? Okay. News. I guess we're going into news next. We got Bitcoin 93, 258 and 54 cents. By the way, guys, anything as far as super chats go that I received during the month of December is going to go towards gifts for the less fortunate. So, I think last month my payout threshold was not reached either, so whatever I got last month is also going to go towards that because I should be receiving that with the next like YouTube payout thing. So my fiance decided to grab some of the little gift card things off of the giving tree at Walmart. So we're gonna do some of those because we got a pretty hefty insurance check from that dude backing into our van. So figured we can give back. Watcher Guru posted, Michael Saylor says Bitcoin is the foundation of economic markets. I actually agree with him. He's looking a little older recently, isn't he? UK passes law officially recognizing crypto as property. That's actually pretty cool. Treasury Secretary Bessent says he doesn't believe tariffs are a tax. Crypto prediction platform Polymarket officially begins rolling out US app. Very cool. $12 trillion BlackRock says U.S. national debt will accelerate crypto adoption. I agree. BlackRock CEO Larry Fink admits he was wrong about crypto. What a freaking legend! I got so much more respect for people that are willing to come out and say, I said some stupid stuff about this thing in the past. I was wrong. I'm mistaken. I'm correcting myself now. So much more respect for people like that. Philly said, Jesus effing Christ, JJ. You do all the time? When you're excited, you go, oh yeah. But you're also trying not to yell in the mic? I don't know what you're talking about. When I say let's go, I don't know about oh yeah. All right. $12 trillion Charles Schwab says it will offer Bitcoin and Ethereum trading in early 2026. That is actually insane. Charles Schwab will offer Bitcoin and Ethereum trading in early 2026. We got to put together a timeline because we had some crazy bullish news yesterday. Bank of America recommending their investors put up to 4% of their portfolio into Bitcoin and crypto. That's freaking crazy. Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong says major banks are piloting crypto with the exchange. Hell yeah. Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong says tokenization is the future. Drummer said, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Justin, NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang tells Joe Rogan that President Trump saved the AI industry. I like that he said this. I'm just kidding. I think that was the dumbest thing in the world to say. Why did the AI industry need saving? What are you hiding, Jensen Huang? Because was there like a .com bubble? And Trump was like, oh, we're gonna prop it up with something. That just kind of scared me a little bit. For some reason, world's biggest YouTuber, Mr. Beast, to launch financial services platform. I actually don't hate it. I think it's kind of a cool idea. Billy said, you go, yeah, come on. When you see major positive news, you're gaslighting me, Philly. There's no such thing as gaslighting. But if there was, that would be what you're doing right now. US M2 money supply on TradingView hits 22.3 trillion, but the FRED Fed of St. Louis official page is showing 22.298 trillion. I mean, why does that matter? That's just like the smallest fraction of a difference. Am I crazy? What is that, like a couple hundred million? Who cares? Charles Schwab, the massive brokerage managing approximately $11.6 to $12 trillion in client assets, officially confirmed plans to launch direct spot crypto trading in the first half of 2026. CEO Rick Wurster shared these details during recent earnings calls and investor updates, citing surging client demand. Visits to Schwab's crypto education portal are up 90 to 400% year over year, and clients already hold about 20% of all U.S. crypto exchange traded products. That's freaking awesome. There's demand, man. There is demand. People like the risk on. People, enough with the narratives. Institutions do not buy tops. Discounts are created for their entries. This is how it works. Adoption involves volatility as new, larger participants enter, demanding larger discounts for size. Retail is insignificant at the bottom of the macro cycle. They are broke. This is a institutional accumulation. Distribution to retail will occur when well into quantitative easing, February, March 2026. Billy said, I'll punch you right now. Billy, if you could show, like, send me a timestamp of a video of me doing that, like a stream of me doing that, and I will rescind everything that I've said. But for right now, I don't recall ever doing that. And I think you're crazy. I still love you, but I do think you're crazy. While you were fishing for narratives, whales and institutions were consuming supply. Bitcoin on exchanges hits a new low at 2018 levels. Very cool. Breaking, Bitcoin surges above 93K as levered short liquidations near 400 million over the last 24 hours. Bitcoin has now added 200 billion in market cap in 36 hours. Keep watching leverage. Breaking, Japan's 30-year government bond yield surges to a record 3.43% as the Bank of Japan is now considering raising interest rates. This comes just days after Japan finalized a $135 billion stimulus package. Japan is printing stimulus, yet raising rates. Something is broken. Very crazy. US ADP private payrolls unexpectedly fall by 32,000 jobs in November, while a gain of 10,000 jobs was expected. The Fed will have no choice but to cut rates again. That is actually insane. What is happening that they're expecting this large quantity of jobs and we are getting a negative quantity of jobs? That's kind of mind-blowing. SEC is cracking down on highly levered ETFs amid the recent surge in market volatility. The SEC just issued multiple warning letters to ETF providers, effectively blocking the introduction of 3x to 5x leverage ETFs. We write to express concern regarding the registration of ETFs that seek to provide more than 200% leverage, 2x, exposure to underlying indices or securities, the SEC wrote. Leverage is clearly out of control. Yep. Billy said, open a voice channel. I'll do the voice that you do. I'm not doing that on stream. Kobayashi later posted, investors are rushing into the silver market. Physical silver-backed ETF holdings jumped 15.7 million ounces in November. Year-to-date, silver ETF holdings have increased in 9 out of the last 11 months. Meanwhile, silver skew, an indicator of call option volatility, jumped 8 percentage points over the last 2 weeks, to 10 percentage points, marking the highest premium over put options since March 2022. Put differently, betting on higher silver prices is becoming extremely expensive. Silver prices have soared 101% this year, on track for their second best annual performance in history, only below the 435% gain in 1979. Precious metals are on fire. That is pretty sick. Shocking stat of the day. Interest costs on U.S. debt are now equal to 24 cents of every $1 in government tax revenue. The interest expense as percentage of collected taxes has nearly doubled over the last 4 years. This comes as interest expenditures reach 1.24 trillion over the last 12 months, an all-time high. October alone saw a record 104.4 billion in gross interest, the highest for that month in history. Interest expense is now the second largest government outlay, exceeding defense and healthcare spending, and only behind Social Security at 1.6 trillion. The government needs lower interest rates more than anyone. Dang. The Fed has no option. Even as inflation hits 3%, the Fed must cut rates to save U.S. consumers. Consumers are struggling while large cap tech stocks are soaring. More rate cuts are coming into one of the hottest stock markets in history. Own assets are being left behind. I really do believe that AI and probably a poor economy are going to push for more and more job loss. And that is eventually, because what comes with job loss is a loss of tax revenue for the government. If that job doesn't exist, the government does not get to tax that income. So with all of these job losses, the government's bringing in less tax money. So eventually something's going to have to be done. They're not going to raise taxes. If half the population lost their jobs and those jobs just didn't exist anymore, they would not be able to double everyone's taxes. People would just stop working. And the government can't have that. Otherwise, why, what justifies their existence if people can't even afford housing and food? That's the point that I feel like we're getting to. You know what I mean? Why would I pay for you to, pave my roads and make laws that benefit me and stuff like that if I can't even own a home and, send my kids to school? You know what I mean? Crazy. So I feel like we're reaching a pivot point for sure. Jensen Huang said in the next 6 to 7 years, you're going to see a bunch of small nuclear reactors. We will all be power generators, just like somebody's farm. Are mini nuclear reactors the solution to the impending energy shortage caused by AI? Guys, one of my favorite stocks right now is SMR, and it actually has performed remarkably bad for the year, but the entire energy sector has been decimated. I think it's about to make a monstrous comeback just because of the energy shortage that's coming. Plug is doing really well too. Philly actually didn't like Plug because I don't know if he, I think he bought it and then it went up and then it went down. So it's been doing pretty good the last couple of days. I'm up 16%, which is pretty sick. I don't remember where I bought. It was somewhere down here. It could have even been lower. Let me actually look. So my SMR, I am down 33% on SMR, but NuScale Power Corp provides proprietary and innovative advanced small modular reactor nuclear technology with a mission to help power the global energy transition by delivering safe, scalable, and reliable carbon-free energy. And then Plug, let's see what my entry is on Plug because I don't remember. My average for Plug is $1.88. Okay, so it's right around here. Right here. So, still pretty decent. Plug specifically is hydrogen. It has nothing to do with nuclear, but I figured I'd bring that up. I don't know why. Saeed said, hi, sir. What's going on, Saeed? Happy Wednesday, my friend. I think energy portfolio is going to be the next portfolio that performs really well. Billy said, I missed that. Which one, JJ? We have Plug Power and SMR. SMR is more of a risky play. It's like a low cap nuclear stock. Jay Shear said, sup family? What's going on, Jay Shear 2.0? S&P 500 is now 0.9% away from a record high. Meanwhile, the Fear and Greed Index just exited extreme fear, but remains at 27 fear. The last time the S&P 500 was at a record high, the index was nearly double as high. S&P 500 to 7,000 is on the horizon. That's crazy. Breaking. President Trump is reportedly considering making Treasury Secretary Bessent his top economic advisor if Kevin Hassett becomes the next Fed chair. This would be in addition to Bessent's current job as Treasury Secretary. A new era of financial policy is coming. I gotta say, I think I like Scott Bessent. I think I like him. He seems to be doing all the right things and making all the right moves. So here for it. Gosh, he looks like a thumb. That's a bad picture. Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong says major U.S. banks are partnering with exchange on pilots involving stablecoins, custody, and trading. Very cool. Latest, a Polymarket trader. This one's crazy. A Polymarket trader flipped $12 into nearly $30,000 by correctly predicting 11 straight short-term Bitcoin moves. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the power of compound trading. He doubled his money, made 24 bucks, doubled his money, 40, doubled his, wait a minute. Hold on. 12 to 24, 24 to 40, and then 80 to 101, 40 to 80. Okay, that must have been that. 40 to 80, 80 to 101, 101 to 407, 407 to 732, 727, 732 to 2452, 2440 to 2964, 2967 to 58, 58 to 72, 72 to 11.2, and 11.2 to 29. I'm sorry, if I had 28 bucks and I make it up to like 11 grand, I'm probably cashing out. I'm not gonna lie, but this is pretty cool to see. I'm probably gonna start messing around with Polymarket because I feel like it could be a ton of fun, especially if you could make 30 grand on 11 moves. I would like to see the dates on these. November 12th, 13, 14. So in like 4 days, and then he waited until the 30th for this one. 4 days here, and then 19th. So let's just go to the 12th to the 30th. He waited 18 days. He turned $12 into 30K. That's freaking crazy. What a legend. I wonder if he's doing another one with the 30K. See, that's how you end up losing it all, though, because he's clearly betting his entire bag every single time. You got to have big balls to do that. Bitcoin is at 91.1K, and ETH is back above 3K as shifting social sentiment hints at potential counter-trend moves. We've got crowd expects lower price. The crowd expects lower, price goes higher. Crowd expects higher, price flattens. Crowd expects higher, price goes lower. Crowd expects lower, price goes higher. Crowd expects higher, price probably going to go lower. Next, we've got Bitcoin reserves on Binance are dropping as investors shift to self-custody and ETFs absorb supply, signaling bullish reaccumulation. Hell yeah. FedWatch now shows an 89.2% probability of a Fed reserve rate cut in December. Let's freaking go. Just in, global debt is surging as Japan hits 215% debt to GDP, the US 125%, and EMU 95%, and China at a record 93%. Gourmet Brand said the CME is listing prediction markets for sports launching December 6th. Hell yeah. I gotta say, I think a lot of the problems in the economy stem from them legalizing online gambling. Because I remember when that was a big no-no, and then out of nowhere, suddenly there's all these golden nugget casinos and like all this other random junk, and I'm like, since when do they allow this? And now all of a sudden, nobody has money. I'm like, that's kind of weird. Philly said that's legit, $12 to 30K. Yeah, I just went through the whole timeline. It's pretty cool. He doubled his money, like 11 times, I think. Just in, sports apparel giant Fanatics has launched a new prediction market platform in partnership with Crypto.com. It enters the space alongside Polymarket and Kalshi. Honestly, if their user interface is good, then they have potential to take over. Because that's probably the biggest thing. People want a nice, like, user-friendly UI. Stock Money Lizards posted Altcoins TikTok. We got a beautiful falling wedge here, and never fade a falling wedge. Never go up. Then we've got, this is a good one. Not really sure why so many out there thought money rotation from Bitcoin to altcoins would happen as a direct swap. Usually people take profits, sell Bitcoin, which drives price down. Once stablecoin dominance has reached some local highs, money rotates into alts. ETH BTC is sitting at golden pocket right now. You're a fool if you think this is a bearish chart. Dang. I like the gusto. SEC chair just announced live on Fox that Bitcoin crypto market structure bill is about to pass soon. Trillions incoming. Very cool. This model says Bitcoin fair value is $194,000 by the end of the year. Is this realistic? Wouldn't that be crazy? Bitcoin just adding 100K within a month, literally going up 100% in 1 month. I don't think that's going to happen, but that would be pretty crazy, wouldn't it? Mustache. We haven't heard from Mustache in a while. Bears had better decide quickly to become bullish again. Total 2 recently bounced off the weekly 100 EMA line. After touching this line in the past, altcoins have always risen by 100% or more. Now, we talked about this recently. I don't know what chart it was on, but he shows the trajectory changing. You get your pump, your drop, your pump, your sharper drop, your pump, your really sharp drop. Next usually comes a pump. So we'll see what happens. And then we've got altcoins touch their long-term support again. If this level holds, the next bounce could be huge. This was posted 11 hours ago by AK47. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are on number 5 right now. U.S. Treasury just bought back $12.5 billion of their own debt, the largest Treasury buyback in history. That is actually insane. This one kind of blew my mind as well. Like, what is happening? Are people bunking at home? I was talking to me and my fiance talk about this all the time. We're like, why is it so taboo for like the older or the younger generation to like live at home with mom and dad? Because I can't imagine if I was like in my 20s right now, if I like just graduated high school and my parents wanted me out of the house, I genuinely cannot fathom the idea of paying for my own place in today's economy. Not getting paid enough money, and then rent is like $2-3 grand if you're lucky. That's like a great price for rent, which is atrocious. That is a lot of money. And you're lucky if you get a 1-bedroom for that much. Multifamily vacancy rate hits 7.2%, the highest level ever recorded. We literally, like, we sat down our daughter, our 14-year-old daughter. We were like, listen, if you want to live with us for the rest of your life, you can. We're not going to kick you out until the market gets better. Like, if you want to go buy a house and do your own thing when you're old enough, by all means. But don't feel pressured to, like, get out really quick, because it's tough out there. It's real tough out there. It is. So this one kind of blew my mind. Multifamily vacancy rate hits 7.2%, the highest level ever recorded. People are just leaving. Philly said, rewinding, playing that back. And last but not least, we got lumber falls to its lowest price in 14 months. Time to go buy a home. Philly said, Jesus effing Christ, I have no idea how he did that. I mean, you got to have big balls. You got to have big balls to do that. He literally bet his whole bag once, doubled it. Look at this. 98% win, 66% win, 96% win, 28% win. That's 101. 300% win. That was a big one for him. 80% win. That was 732. 237% win. That was another big one for him. 24. Okay, then 21%. And then 25%. Nope. 21%, 90%. So doubled his money again. And then 25%. And then 54%. And he bet that whole $11,294 and made 161% the last time, which turned his 11K to 30K. So you can make big money betting on miscellaneous things on Polymarket. Anyways, guys, that is the end of the news segment. Pretty cool. Liquidation heat map is still pretty chill. Portfolio update. Bitcoin is 93, 610 and 93 cents. We've got the 1K to 10K Grok portfolio currently down, what is that, 454, 45.4%. None of these assets are in the green. Starting from the bottom, we've got Aptos down, wow. Aptos is down 67. Fetch is down 66. Render is down 52. Ondo's down 49. Proppy is down 48. Shib is down 43. Ada is down 42. Near is down 39. Doge is down 38. And Sol is down 14. Then we have our meme coin portfolio. Oh man, I knew I forgot something. Here we go. Then we have our meme coin portfolio. Currently down 540, 54%. None of these assets are in the green either. Starting from the bottom, GigaChat is down 161. Stack is down 132. Pepe is down 99. Whiff is down 79. And Doge is down 71. JShear 2.0 said, I'm thinking of starting up the trading challenge again. Maybe doing a weekly goal this time. That's a good idea. If you guys are not already, join the Discord. Links in the description. It's completely free. Always will be. Ton of fun. The stock channel in the Discord is like pure gold. And the trading challenge was fun for a little while. I think we should start it up again. I agree. I actually have been trading. I'm gonna open a 25%er. Not 25 leverage, 25% of my bag. My trading bag. But I've been trading the past 2-3 days, and I've been doing pretty good. I'm excited about it. Last but not least, oh, did I do the RWA? Narrative portfolio? I did not, actually. Next, we've got the narrative portfolio, which is the most stable and my favorite. If you guys are not aware, this portfolio is made up of one meme coin, one artificial intelligence coin, one decentralized physical infrastructure coin, one real-world asset coin, and one gaming coin, and it is absolutely killing it. We do have one asset in profit here. The rest are in the negative. Starting from the bottom, Fetch is down 54. Nope, 56. VeChain is down 50. Mana is down 42. Pepe is down 31, and Tau is up 3. Tau, for some reason, has been killing it. And then last but not least, we've got the perfect entry portfolio, which is currently down 366, 36.6%. None of these assets are in the green. Starting from the bottom, Avalanche is down 58, Render's down 57, Pith is down 52, Graph is down 46, Swee's down 46, and Ondo is down 43. Crow is down 29, Sol is down 20, ETH is down 18, and Link is down 2. And that is it. We are completely caught up. Ladies and gentlemen, Bitcoin looks great. Speaking of the trading contest challenge situation, the compound interest calculator is what actually spawned this. If you guys were not here for that, I'm going to go through it right now. Calvin said, you're right, housing is out of control. I'm much older than you, but with the decline of the dollar of the decades coupled with greed, it really hurts our younger generation. Yeah, it's insane. I literally, like, it makes me feel a little less bad seeing that the median age of a first-time homebuyer is like in their 40s, but that is ridiculous. I don't want to have to wait another 10, 12 years to buy a freaking house. All right. The compound trading calculator is what spawned the trading, what do we call it? Trading challenge. Trading challenge. So our goal, the idea, and it is a lofty goal, but it's all in good fun. So people that are like, that's literally impossible. We know. Calm down. It's not that big of a deal. Start with $50. Interest rate is nothing. Is that right? No. We want to make, what was it? 2% a day? Let's go 5. 5% a day for 6 months. I think that's what it was. So literally just compound trading. You have $50, you make a trade, you're up 5%, you close the trade. Tomorrow, you have $52.50, you make a trade, you're up 5%, you close the trade. Obviously, you're going to have losing days. The idea is to mitigate that with a stop loss so that you don't actually lose money. So you open a trade, the trade gets in profit, you set your stop loss at break even, that way you don't lose money. It's better to have net 0 days than net negative days. So if we are compound trading, making 5% a day off of $50 after just 6 months, we would have $368,000. If we did less, let's do 2% a day, you would have $1,800. That's still pretty damn good. So after a year, you would have 68 grand. Starting with $50. You'd go 2.5% for 6 months. You're looking at $4,500. That's pretty good. Let's do 3% for 6 months. 11 grand. That's pretty sick. Do you ever use AutoTrail? I have never used AutoTrail. John Gregory said, don't even get me started on the house thing. 50-year loan. What a crock. See, I'm cracking up with the 50-year loan as well, because you're basically like paying twice what the sticker price on the home is. So I get it. But if it helps people get their foot in the door, I don't see it as a bad thing altogether. It is a stupid thing. But if I can get a 50-year mortgage and save like $200-300 on my stupid monthly on my monthly mortgage payment, maybe I just pay that $200-300 and I pay off the 50-year mortgage in 30 years, and I only pay what the 30-year mortgage like bottom line would be versus the 50-year. Like, instead of paying $500K for a $250,000 house, you pay $280,000 or whatever the interest rate normally is for a 30-year mortgage. You know what I mean? I don't know. It is kind of hilarious though. They're like, we're doing a 50-year mortgage, and everyone's like, that's not that great. Jay Shear said, nah, it can be easy. I was on fire for months till October 10th. See about per week. How do you mean per week? Like if we're doing, let's do 10% a week for a year. There's 52. So yeah, you start with $50, you get 10% a week, you'd have $8,700. Let's do 20% a week. Oh my god. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I don't like this because this makes me feel inadequate with my trading. Why am I not a millionaire yet, guys? Also, 420? Come on. So, if we do 20%, you make a one trade per week. You start with $50. You do one trade per week. And the goal is to get 20%. You don't even have to do one trade per week. You start with $50, you make 20% a week. After a year, you would have $1.4 million. What the hell? Let's do 10%. 10% per week. Okay, that's the boring one. 15? Mr. Robert said, JJ, you still live? Yeah, it's not that late, is it? I went on a little bit later. I've only been on for just over an hour. We're doing the compound interest calculator again, Mr. Roberts. Kind of freaking out. I was killing it too, Jay Shear. After October 10th, all of the fun got deflated. The air was taken out of the market for sure. So maybe the compound trading challenge changes. Maybe we do $50, 15% a week for a year, and try to make 100K by December 3rd, 2026. John Tujo said, it's time in the market. How long you been in? Me? For crypto? 3 or 4 years? 5? Has it been 5 years already? It might have been 5. Ugh. I think it's 5. I will say, I do believe that I am net positive. For total amount invested and total amount, what do you call it? Divested? Total amount of profit taken. John Gregory said, so what percent does Bitcoin average a year? Let's actually look that up. And rock. What is the average return, average percent return for Bitcoin per year? Yeah, compound interest is crazy. Billy said, how would you do the compound daily? The next day you invest the entire balance? Yes. Sell after 3%. Tomorrow invest the entire balance again? Correct. Correct. That's where you cannot have negative days. Otherwise, you're setting yourself back. We were doing really good. Like legit. We were killing it in the trading challenge. I don't even remember what I got up to. Okay, Grok, how long does it take to answer this simple question? Okay, so the data starts in 2013. That's fine. 2010, blah blah blah. So he's really pulling all the stops. But yeah, Billy, you would have to, if you're doing the 15% weekly, let's go back to daily. Let's do 3% daily for a year. Oh my god. Guys, this is stressing me out. For 8 months. Okay, that's much better. So 3% a day, starting with $50. You open up a trade with $50. You're up 3%. You close that trade. Honestly, you don't even have to think about the day thing. You just have to think about the quantity of trades. There's 8 months. There's 30 days a month. 30 times 8 is 240. So you need 240 3% trades. If you start with $50 and you close every 3% profit, after 240 trades, you would have $66,480, which is pretty sick. Pretty damn sick. Investment doubled after 1 month. What? So you could actually cut that time in half. You start with $100 and you do, let's do 6 months. Okay, that's boring. Let's do 8 months again. Oh, I did $10. My bad. 100 for 6 months. Yeah, look at that. $100, 3% a day. After 6 months, you'd have 22K. Like, I don't know, this, everyone and their brother tells you, and this is where the breakthrough joke came from the first time we talked about this. It was like, taking profit is a psyop. They want you to take profit so that you don't become a millionaire. Are you serious? Grok has not answered this question yet. What? 529% on average? Whoa. Fetching end 2024 current prices via CoinGecko. Compute partial 20-25% return. Hurry up. Why is Grok struggling? So starting with $100, let's do 2%. Just try and make it as realistic as possible for a year. I want to do a full year. $100, 2% a day. After a year, you'd have $137,740. That's pretty awesome. So you make 365 2% trades. You have $137,000. JShoot 2.0 said, I'll try by the week. Let's do it. Let's do it, man. Oh my gosh. Has anybody else done the calculations faster? This is ridiculous. Is Grok broken? Copy. Can I switch this? Is that what it is? I'm an expert. It thinks hard. It's taking troubleshooting code error. Okay, you're taking too long. Holy crap. Wow. Mr. Barber said, no one I know makes more than 0.5% a day consistently on their entire port over a year. If I get 35 to 50, I'm stoked. For crypto? All right. Compound annual growth rate. Can you just give me the answer? Um, 135%. 13% long term? That doesn't make no sense. Long term, over 13 years, cumulative growth exceeds 20 million%. Jeez. With a 230% annualized rate in some analysis. Shorter periods, 5-year, 155% in peak cycles. Show higher peaks but more risk. Arithmetic average. It's inflated at 819% due to outliers. Okay. Bitcoin's 135% long term. Okay, so it's about 135%. That's actually crazy. Standard deviation is 182, meaning 70% are common. Future uncertainty, 135% on average. Billy said, "Ugh, you're not answering my question. I heard you invest $100, exit 5% profit. What do you do tomorrow? Invest the entire 105? Yes. I answered the question, Billy. I said, yes, you reinvest the full amount. What if you have a day that ended in a loss? That is why you have to mitigate that loss. Then you set yourself back by time. If you have $100 and you make 5%, you have $105 tomorrow. If you trade and you lose that $5, then you're back at day one. You know what I mean? Rick said, sorry, just liked, been on my Bluetooth in my shed, been listening, just not talking. I like that I am the go-to listen for people in their shed. I don't understand shed life yet because I'm not a homeowner. But eventually, I think I'll get you guys. Maybe I'll be streaming from the shed in the future. That'd be kind of cool. My own little, like, man shed with my streaming setup inside of it. Of course, then I'd have to walk through the cold to get back into the house, so maybe not. I'd make myself like a little tunnel, a little warmth tunnel in between. Okay. But yes, Philly, you would reinvest the full amount. $100, 5% interest daily for 6 months. You start with $100. Today, you make 5%. You close your trade. You now have $105. Tomorrow, you invest that full $105 and you make another 5%. And then whatever that amount would be, you take that out. And then the next day, you invest the full amount again. And that is where you're supposed to mitigate the loss. You set a stop loss at break even. And if you obviously can't do that right out the gate, you could do it with a small amount. Like set your stop loss minus 1%. That way you're setting yourself back that far. But you are still at a loss. Otherwise, you can babysit the trade until you're in profit and then set your stop loss in profit. What if I said JJ and his tunnels? Waterfly, I got some sick news for you, my friend. Let me go to my bookmarks. The most exciting thing today out of the news, in my opinion, is that, let's see, where did it go? Really cool news. Where's the cool news? Right here, Charles Schwab, the massive brokerage managing, is this the right one? Yeah, managing approximately 11.6 to 12 trillion in client assets, officially confirmed plans to launch direct spot crypto trading in the first half of 2026. CEO Rick Wurster shared these details during recent earnings calls and investor updates, citing surging client demand. Visits to Schwab's crypto education portal are up 90 to 400% year over year, and clients already hold about 20% of all U.S. crypto exchange traded products. So the demand at Charles Schwab, the demand for crypto is so high, up 400% from the year prior, that they are going to now offer spot crypto trading for at some point in the first half of 2026. What do you mean, yes, old news? It's only 8 hours ago. Yesterday was a big deal, too. 12 trillion Charles Schwab says it will offer Bitcoin and Ethereum trading in early 2026. Oh, this one was also huge. BlackRock CEO Larry Fink admits he was wrong about crypto, which earned some respect for him in my book. Somebody that can admit that they were wrong, nothing but respect. Peter Schiff, kind of a weenie. Larry Fink, respect. But also stop buying all the houses so that I can afford a home, please. Bitcoin is chilling, 93,702. Mr. Roberts said shed life good, LOL. Right? Yeah, we summoned Mr. Roberts mentioning the shed, Pickle Rick. Tom Silkscoat said, what I miss? Not too much. Good news. A lot of good news today. Market's looking decent. Billy asked what I think about rate cut. I'm not sure about Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I think that the rate cut week next week is going to be a green candle. because I think that we're going to get a rate cut. Jobs were really bad today. Where's the jobs data? Right, jobs data is right here. U.S. ADP private payrolls unexpectedly fall by 32,000 jobs in November, while a gain of 10,000 jobs was expected. So they're expecting this much, they got this much. It went down. It went the opposite direction. Let's see. Mr. Roberts said, "Hey Waters, sup goat." Top Sauce Goat said, "Oh yeah, Schwab gonna go Bitcoin and ETH for sure on the first go, 100%. Tom Sauce Goat said, "Yeah, it's not ETFs, it's direct trading." Waterfly said, "No one talking good about ADA though." JShear 2.0 said, "I don't hear anything, LOL." If you're in the Cardano ecosystem, it's usually actually it's been really, really bleak for like a year, and it just flipped. People are just now excited. The founding entities have teamed up, and they're going to work together to get actual freaking stable coins on chain. Finally. So that feels good. They're going to get Chainlink integration. Basically, all the stuff that we've been like complaining about not having for like 2+ years, they're finally coming around and getting that shit done, which feels good. Cheers, guys. Happy Wednesday. Bitcoin is chilling. Don't forget to smash the like button. I appreciate you guys for being here. Compound interest calculator is always a fun time. News is pretty chill. Let me go see. Oh yeah, crypto.com with Fanatics or whatever they're teaming up to launch their own sports betting platform to compete with Polymarket and Kalshi. Netflix has closed below its 200-day moving average for 10 consecutive trading days, the longest stretch of time in more than 3 years. That's interesting. Spotify forms a death cross. Why would Spotify be a publicly traded company? The music app? The like smallest app that people, I guess, is more popular than I thought. This one was big. U.S. Treasury bought back $12.5 billion of their own debt, the largest Treasury buyback in history. Lumber falling to lowest price in 14 months. Multifamily vacancy hit a record low, 7.2%. Or I guess multifamily vacancy hit a record high. My bad. Natural gas highest price in 3 years. What scares me is this looks like a gigantic inverse head and shoulder. I do like natural gas though. Gas prices, like for a vehicle, unleaded, got ridiculously cheap out here really quick. Kind of excited. Apparently in Colorado, it's like less than $2, which blew my mind. Jay Shear said, "Welcome to the party, boys." Waterfly Tom Roberts. Mr. Roberts said, "Hey, Jay." Tom Selleck's Goat said, "LOL, Spotify is the biggest of all. Stock was a beast for a long time." That blows my mind. It's nothing but ads. I tried it once and it drove me insane. I paid for Amazon Music now because Spotify pissed me off so much. S&P, Japan yields are through the roof. Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes. Treasury bond, ETF, short interest. Silver on track for 8 consecutive green months. Did you guys look at the silver fractal? Looks amazing. Where is it? Right here. Bam. Following it perfectly. Our breakout target of 58 hit on the dot. Looking good. Honestly, if we reject here, I'll be happy because that was my top. But go a little bit higher and then get our rejection. Come back, retest 52. And then we can go up from there. Do our little double bottom, whatever we want to do. Which literally is just 100% identical to this. I pulled the fractal from right here because my last target of 52 got peaked right above and then one more and then it went down. And I was like, huh, my next target from the flag is 58 and it peaked and I was like, what if it just does the same exact thing? And I pulled the fractal and lo and behold, so far it's about, let's call it 15% fulfilled, maybe even 20. Looks pretty good. Yeah, I think 20 is fair. Waterfly said still 379 for 93 here. That's crazy. Is 93 the cheapest? I don't think so. I think 89 is the cheapest. What? Yeah, 87, 89, 90. Premium is 91 to 94. That's kind of funny. I put premium in my car one time. I was pissed. I was so mad. I was like, dang it. I just spent so much money on gas. Stupid little. Actually, I love that car. My little Cougar. I had my first car. What was your guys' first car? I'm curious. I want to know. My first car was a 2001 Mercury Cougar, and I loved that car. It was fast as hell. I definitely raced a guy in a BMW, and I whooped his ass. And I'll never do that again. I like maxed out the the speedometer. The car was shaking like crazy. It was terrifying. And it had Bose audio, which sounded amazing. Amazing audio in that car, which spoiled me because after that, every car that I bought had the worst speakers in the world. I'm like, man, I gotta upgrade these speakers every single time consistently. I have not upgraded the speakers in my minivan at the moment. Thinking about it though. I had to take the door panel off like 5 or 6 times. It's a safe vehicle, but it's got a lot of really small problems. Like to the point of where it becomes a giant nuisance. I think as unfortunately the industry needs MicroStrategy to not perform bad, because if they do perform bad, then obviously we're in a lot of trouble. They own what, like 5% of the Bitcoin supply, which is crazy. Let's see. They own, okay, apparently according to this, 3% of the total supply. Maybe that was back then. Maybe it's 5 now. That would be crazy. This is from River Financial. That's a lot, man. It's kind of scary that they could do that given the price. The NASDAQ fractal. Should I just adjust this right now? Is that crazy? Is that cheating? What if I just leave that? Strategy bottomed. Time to go up? Hopefully. I hope so, man. I was hoping that they would bottom above 200 for fuck's sake. They couldn't even hold 180. This thing went all the way down to 156. That sucks so bad. They almost hit the apex of the triangle, the old triangle. They pretty much did. What? That's so crazy. We talked about this the other day, though. Like, being practical, you know, not trying to meme on everything. Let me go to the daily. They did kind of... I was hoping that they would hold right up here, being that we kind of got our rejection here and a rejection here. But it does make sense, you know, down here you got a lot more meat for the previous price action. It makes a little more sense for it to go down at least a little bit lower. And it for the scaffolding analogy, that we need that scaffolding, and then we can hopefully continue up from there. That's a pretty big freaking pullback, though. A lot of people are probably very unhappy. Imagine you bought the top right here. 59%. I guess it's not that bad. I've been down worse. Let's see. Fahid said, what did Philly do? He pumped Fartcoin higher. I saw it, dude. Fartcoin has been shredding, which is hilarious because so many people hate it. Whoa, it's up 10%? It did pump higher. Let's go. 38.52. Let's get above 40 next, man. We talked about this, guys. We talked about this. Mr. Roberts said, my first was a Renault Fuego from the 80s. I put shag carpet and a ridiculous sub in the back hatch. That's freaking awesome. Black paint, 4 wheels, spoke rims. It was hilarious. All right, let's look this bad boy up. Renault Fuego. Yes. This is freaking sweet. Was it red? What did you say? You said black Hang on. Black paint. Dude, this thing is sick. Oh, that's a model. Okay. This is Mr. Robert's first car. Bam. That's freaking cool. Why have I never seen this before? Oh, you know what? I did not even consider the year. Hang on. Oh, you just said 80s. Okay. But yeah. That's pretty sick. Spoke rims. I don't think I can find spoke rims. Fahid said we had a Chevy G20 growing up with the bed. I want one. We fun. You know what I really want? I want a Chevy Tracker. Chevy G20. Or a Geo Tracker before Chevy bought them. Dude, I test drove one of these. They had, like, it was fully kitted out. My fiance was pissed. She didn't want it at all. I wanted to buy it so bad. I wanted to buy this so bad. These things are badass. Monster. Used to get the TV inside with the N64. They don't make vans like this anymore, man. The Chrysler Town & Country is the closest you can get. Look at this interior. Look at this. What? It's so sick. Oh, man. Let me see. Can I find one with the TV? Right here? 90s conversion van setup. Bam. Look at that. Big boob tube in the ceiling. Sometimes they were on the floor, too. I mean, how can you beat that? Are you serious? Look at that bad boy. Too cool. We're getting sidetracked, but it's all in good fun. Everyone's first car. Do we got any more? Gourmet Brands Brooklyn said, what did Sailor mean the other day? Said he was going to add green dots instead of orange. I have no idea. I have no clue. I actually saw that too. I'm not sure if he's just being an idiot, but I thought that was kind of weird too. He'd said Sailor bought USD. That was the green dot. Gourmet Brands said, oh, okay, greenbacks, got it. How does he buy USD? I don't understand. Mr. Roberts said that's it, 100%. That's awesome. Yeah, dude, this is badass. What did the interior look like? Interior. Okay. Fuego. Convertible? They made a convertible? Okay, here is the interior. Bam. This is sick, dude. Honestly, I'm a big fan of ugly cars. I would not qualify this as an ugly car, but I do like it. The interior's hideous, which tickles my brain. I thoroughly enjoy this. Can't go wrong with a full-size van. They didn't even make full-size vans anymore. They're all minivans. If you want a full-size van, you gotta buy like a work van. That's awesome. We gotta do a 12-hour stream soon, guys. Do a bunch of fun hangouts and stuff. 4-spoke rims are the shit, LOL. As a reserve? Okay, that makes sense. Fahid said, which kind of goes against the whole Bitcoin philosophy, but at least he used shareholder money to buy a jet. Yeah, that's really funny. Saw you talking about that. I mean, I feel like Sailor needs a jet more than like that televangelist guy who looks like Satan, the creepy dude. I'm pretty sure he was quoted as well saying that he did not want to get in a plane full of demons. Talking about flying commercial. And that was when he pointed at that lady, he was like, I never said such a thing. It was really creepy. There's going to be documentaries about that guy when he dies. What a freaking weirdo. All the televangelists blow my mind, man. Drummer said, 94, 101, 111, conversion Corolla. I still have it 3 motors later. No way. My coworker has a Corolla. I believe that they are genuinely capable of going over 1,000,000 miles. Toyota makes the best vehicle. You will never convince me otherwise. They have the strongest motor and, more importantly, the strongest transmission. Honda has the second strongest motor, in my opinion. They might be number one, but the transmission, I think, is where it matters. A motor you can fix all day long. Transmission is a bitch to do anything with. Toyota has Honda beat when it comes to transmission, and I think that that makes them number one. Dude, somebody made a pickup truck one. That's freaking badass. I would buy the shit out of this. Are you kidding me? Look at this. Look at this bad boy. Oh, come on. That is too cool. All right. Mr. Robert said, yep, the green dots just meant Sailor Bot has enough USD to pay dividends for the next 18 months. Very cool. Philly said, I have an 18 Camry XLE. Was that your first car? We're talking about first cars, Philly. This is what Philly's driving around? Oh, this is like a bougie car. Philly's got a bougie car. That's pretty nice. I like it. Fancy. The front of it makes it look bougie. Maybe it's not bougie. You might just have a regular car, Philly. It looks pretty bougie to me, though. I remember I wanted to buy, like, kits for my stupid, like, Taurus. I had, like, a 01 Taurus. Mr. Robert said, Fahid, the G20 van was effing iconic, dude. I mean, I wish I would have bought that one. My fiance wouldn't let me buy it. She'd probably kill me if I rolled up in one today. One day I will own a full-size van. Drummer said it has a K-Series Honda motor in it now. Nice. Billy said, oh, sorry. Fuck it. I have a Chevy City Express. Billy said, I do not have a pickup. What cracks me up about the City Express is that it is literally just a Nissan NV200 with a Chevy badge slapped on it. The sticker literally says manufactured by Nissan for Chevrolet Motor Company, which is hilarious. They're just like, hey man, can we buy these from you guys? And then you like just put our thing on it, and Nissan's like, yeah, that's fine. Philly said I have a Toyota Camry trim model XLE. It's a sedan. Yeah, we just looked at that. Philly, are you okay? Where'd you get a pickup from? When did I say pickup? I didn't say you had a pickup. I said it was bougie. You're gonna have to rewind a little bit, Philly. Pinlink's getting a little baby breakout. Interesting. What else? Anything else up tremendously? Strategy. Yep, we looked at that already. Near's trying a little bit. That's exciting. Barcoin we talked about. Cass a little bit. A little baby bit. Pinlink. Arrow. Arrow looks pretty good. That's pretty much it. Yeah, let's see where these bad boys end up. You pulled up a photo of a pickup truck. That was a pickup car, actually. That was a pickup car. And I think that there's a time delay, Philly. I think you're on a time delay. We looked at this car. We looked at this pickup car. We looked at the same thing from a different angle. Then we looked at, where are we? Why am I so lost? Then we looked at your car. Yeah, Tom Stokes said, Philly, you have a couple nose beers before the stream? A little too much Benadryl. Bitcoin, 93,795 and 94 cents. Guys, we're getting break cuts next week. I'm excited. I'm probably going to call it evening. I have to attend the weekly Dong Space, so, and the fiance just got home, so I gotta hear the juicy gossip from the theater. So I appreciate you guys. As always, when Bitcoin starts to do anything crazy, I will hop back on. Otherwise, I will see you all tomorrow. Don't forget to smash the like button on your way out. Happy Wednesday and good night.